You stand on the bridge of the Aegis. The silence of deep space is your only companion. Below your feet, the deck plates hum with contained power, enough energy to crack a small moon in half, or to keep the coffee machine running, which is more important. The vast view screen shows a sea of frozen jewels. Stars hang like dust motes in a sunbeam. It is a beautiful and lonely expanse. Your watch is quiet, as it has been for weeks. You are a sensor specialist, a watcher of the dark. Your job is to notice the things no one else does, to see the whispers in the star-born winds. For 63 days, the winds have been silent. The ship is a ghost at the edge of known space, a silent guardian against forgotten threats. You sip your lukewarm nutrient paste, a gourmet meal out here. Every other crew member is a phantom, a shadow at their post, each lost in the quiet rhythm of the long watch. The Aegis is the pinnacle of human engineering, a city-sized warship designed for a war we hoped would never come. Its armor is thick enough to withstand a star's fury. Its cannons fire lances of pure energy. But out here, it feels small. It feels like a single grain of sand on an infinite shore. You trace a constellation on your console, a familiar shape from a home you barely remember. It is a link to the life you are protecting. The quiet is a double-edged sword. It brings peace, and it brings doubt. The long silence can fray the nerves. It makes you imagine things in the shadows. But the shadows have remained empty. The great, dark ocean has been still. You complete another system scan. Everything is normal, as always. The ship breathes around you, a slow and steady beat. It is the only heartbeat you can feel out here. A new sensation pricks at your awareness. It is not a sound, not a light. It is a feeling of absence, a sudden cold spot in the universe. You lean forward in your command chair. Your eyes scan the star map with renewed focus. Something is wrong. The familiar patterns of light seem distorted. One patch of the sky is too dark, too perfect in its emptiness. It is a hole in the fabric of space. You run a diagnostic on the long-range sensors. The machine answers with a calm and chilling certainty. The sensors are functioning perfectly. You magnify the area of darkness. Where thousands of stars should be, there is nothing. Just a void, a patch of absolute black. It is not a nebula, not a dust cloud. It is a wound in the night sky, a place where light goes to die. You check the archival star charts. Your console confirms the impossible. This section of space was charted. It was filled with suns, with life, with possibilities. Now it is a blank slate, an utter nothingness. Your heart begins a faster rhythm against your ribs. This is not a natural event. This is not the work of star science. This is something else entirely. Something deliberate. Your fingers fly across the control panel. You isolate the spectral data from the edge of the void. There's a faint shimmer, a distortion, like heat rising from a distant road. The light from the surrounding stars bends around it, as if space itself is being warped, consumed. You have never seen anything like it. No one has. This is beyond all known theory. You tap the alert panel on your console. A soft chime echoes on the silent bridge. It is a low-level notification, for now. You do not want to cause a panic, but a cold certainty settles in your gut. The long, quiet watch is over. The silence has been broken, and what comes next will not be peaceful. The void is not empty. It is waiting. The captain, Eva Rostova, turns from the main view screen. Her gaze finds you across the quiet bridge. Her eyes are sharp, missing nothing. She raises a single eyebrow, a silent question. You meet her gaze and nod slowly. The confirmation passes between you without a word. The calm is about to shatter. The ship and its crew will be tested. A klaxon screams through the ship. Red alerts flash on every console. The gentle hum of the deck plates becomes a roar. The quiet bridge transforms into a storm of controlled chaos. Crew members shout reports, their voices tight with tension. The period of calm is gone, erased in a heartbeat. The impossible nothingness has the ship's full attention now. It has everyone's attention. Experts gather around your sensor station. Their faces are grim masks of concentration. They try to understand this new enemy. They pull up every theory, every forgotten text. Nothing matches the data you discovered. The void is an anomaly, a complete unknown. It defies every law of physics we hold dear. It shouldn't exist, but it does. And it is growing. Your console flickers with new information. The edge of the void is expanding, fast. It is swallowing stars at an alarming rate, like a stain spreading across a perfect photograph. Each disappearing star is a silent scream, a life, a system, snuffed out of existence. The experts murmur, their voices low and worried. It's not just blocking light, one says. It's erasing it. The ship's advanced logic engines run trillions of simulations. They search for a weakness, a natural cause. Every result comes back the same, null. This is not a star-born phenomenon. It is artificial, and it is hostile. A weapon of unimaginable power, one that can unmake reality itself. A cold dread washes over you. How do you fight something that can delete stars? Thousands of enemy ships pour from the void. They are like insects swarming from a dark nest. Their forms are wrong, all sharp angles and unsettling curves. They are not built for atmosphere or for beauty. They are built for one purpose, destruction. The view screen fills with their numbers, a tide of black metal against the black of space, and your starship stands alone against them. The Aegis is a mighty vessel, but it is one ship. The enemy fleet is a countless horde. Long-range sensors scream with proximity alerts. The space that was empty moments ago is now thick with threats. Their energy signatures are off the charts. Each small ship holds the power of a fleet killer, and there are thousands of them. Our chances of survival just went from slim to microscopic. Someone on the bridge laughs. A short, sharp sound of disbelief. It is quickly silenced. The crew is disciplined, the best of the best. But they are not made of stone. The sight on the view screen could break anyone. It is a vision of the end, a final, insurmountable wave. You wonder if this is how it ends, drowned in an ocean of enemies. The ship's communication officer turns to the captain. "No response to our hails, ma'am," she says. Her voice is steady, a testament to her training. "They aren't talking." The captain nods slowly. Her gaze is fixed on the approaching swarm. She knew they wouldn't talk. These are not explorers. They are not diplomats. They are reapers. Captain Eva, Rostova gives the impossible command. Her voice cuts through the tension on the bridge. It is calm and colder than the void itself. "All hands to battle stations," she says. "We are not retreating from this fight." The words hang in the air. A declaration of war. A statement of defiance against overwhelming odds. No one questions the order. No one hesitates. The crew moves with a synchronized, deadly grace. Consoles light up with targeting solutions. Power conduits hum as they divert energy to weapons. The ship transforms from a silent guardian to a coiled serpent, ready to strike, ready to die if needed. The Aegis was built to be the shield of humanity. Today, it will live up to its name. or it will become a tomb. You look at the captain's face. She stands like a statue carved from granite. Her expression shows no fear, no doubt, only a terrible, unyielding resolve. She's asking you and everyone on this ship to do the impossible, to face a tidal wave of death and not flinch, to stand against the dying of the light. Her unspoken order is clear. We will be the wall. We will be the line. A young ensign next to you looks pale. His hands tremble slightly on his controls. He is barely out of the academy. This is his first real battle. You put a steadying hand on his shoulder. Breathe, you say. The captain knows what she's doing. You are not sure if you believe your own words, but you say them anyway. For him and for yourself. Belief is a weapon too. Our cannons unleash their full fury. Lances of white-hot energy spear into the darkness. The Aegis shudders as the main batteries fire. It is a roar of defiance, a shout into the abyss. The first volley of light crosses the space between fleets. It is beautiful, and it is terrifying. A statement that humanity will not go quietly. It is a message written in fire. The enemy fleet does not scatter. It does not slow. It simply absorbs the attack. Their shields flicker, a strange, oily shimmer of colors. The energy from our most powerful weapons vanishes. It is like throwing stones into an ocean. The enemy's shields absorb every single shot. There is no explosion, no debris, just that silent, sickening ripple. And then, nothing. A stunned silence falls over the bridge. The crew stares at the view screen in disbelief. The first volley was a full power strike. It should have vaporized the first few waves of ships. But it did nothing. The swarm continues its relentless advance. Unscathed, undeterred. A wave of despair washes through the bridge. It is a cold and heavy thing. The chief weapons officer stares at his console. No effect, he whispers, his voice hoarse. Full impact, but no damage. He runs a dozen diagnostics at once. The results are all the same. The enemy's shielding is perfect. It is a technology far beyond our own. It is not a barrier of energy. It seems to be a barrier against reality itself. A portable piece of the void they came from. An enemy beam strikes the Aegis hard. The ship screams as metal and circuits vaporize. It is not a lance of light like our weapons. It is a bolt of pure blackness, a sliver of the void, weaponized. Where it hits, the hull is not just damaged, it is gone, erased from existence. The ship lurches violently, throwing people from their stations. Your station explodes in a shower of sparks. The console you were just touching ceases to exist. A wave of force throws you across the bridge. You hit the far wall with a bone-jarring impact. Your ears ring, and the world swims in a blur of smoke and red alerts. The smell of ozone and burnt metal fills the air. The Aegis has been wounded, deeply. You push yourself up, ignoring the searing pain in your shoulder. The bridge is a scene of controlled chaos. Medics rush to help the injured. Engineers shout damage reports into their comms. The ship groans around you, a wounded beast. But it is still alive. The hull is crying out, but it has not been broken. Not yet. You stumble back towards your post, or what's left of it. The main view screen is a nightmare. Dozens of enemy beams are striking the Aegis. Each impact is another small erasure, another piece of our home carved away. The ship's own shields flare brightly, trying to hold, but they are failing. They were not designed to fight pieces of nothing. This is a battle we are losing. Amid the chaos, you see it. A flicker in their strange defenses. It happens for just a fraction of a second. When one of their erasure beams strikes our shields. For a single instant, the enemy ship that fired is vulnerable. Its own perfect shield wavers, just a little. It is a tiny flaw, almost invisible, but it is there. You scramble to a secondary console. Your hands fly across the keyboard, ignoring the pain. You pull up the sensor logs from the moment of impact. The data confirms what your eyes saw. A momentary energy spike, a brief window of vulnerability. It is a pattern, a rhythm in their attacks. They cannot fire and defend at the same time. Not perfectly. A pattern emerges from the chaos of battle. The enemy fleet is not a random swarm, it is a coordinated machine. They fire in waves, in carefully timed sequences. Each wave covers the vulnerabilities of the last. It is a perfect storm of offensive and defensive tactics. Almost perfect. But the flaw is there, in the tiny gap between the waves. You run a simulation, your mind racing faster than the logic engine. If you can time a shot, a single shot, to hit one of their ships in that exact millisecond of vulnerability, you could bypass their shields entirely. It is a shot of impossible precision, a shot that would require the entire ship's resources. But it is a chance. It is the only chance we have. The crew focuses all power on your targeting solution. You shout your discovery to the captain. For a moment, she just looks at you, her eyes searching your face for any hint of doubt. She sees only certainty. "Do it," she says, her voice a low command. The order ripples across the bridge and through the ship. A new hope, fragile but fierce, is born. Engineers reroute every last bit of power. The ship's lights dim. Life support is diverted. Everything is channeled to the main cannon. The Aegis groans under the strain. It is a colossal gamble. We will be completely defenseless. If you are wrong, if you miss, we are finished. The fate of humanity rests on this single moment, on your eyes and your aim. Your new console becomes the nerve center of the ship. Data streams across the screen, enemy positions, shield timings, power levels. It is a torrent of information. But your mind is clear. Focused, you see the pattern, the rhythm of the enemy's dance of death. You see the opening, the single heartbeat of time where they are exposed. And you prepare to thread the needle. The chief engineer's voice crackles over the comm. "Captain, the Corps can't take much more of this." He is shouting over the sound of screaming metal. "We are pushing it far past the safety limits." His warning is stark. The ship's power core is on the verge of a catastrophic failure. The very heart of the Aegis is being pushed to ruin. The ship groans under the immense power surge. Every deck plate vibrates with a terrifying intensity. It feels like the warship is being torn apart from the inside. Red lights flash on the engineering console. The core temperature is climbing into the critical zone. We are trading the ship's life for a single shot. A desperate and perhaps foolish bargain. You can feel the power building in the main cannon. It is a physical presence on the bridge. The air crackles with contained energy. The forward view screen shows the cannon's barrel glowing, a brilliant, terrible white. It is a star being born in the heart of our ship. A star we will throw at our enemies, if the ship doesn't tear itself apart first. The captain stands beside you now. Her hand rests on the back of your chair. It is a gesture of support, of trust. "The fate of our people is in your hands," she says softly. The weight of her words is immense. But they do not crush you. They give you strength. You are not just a sensor operator anymore. You are the tip of the spear. The main cannon fires its singular, desperate shot. It is not a beam of light. It is something more. A needle of pure, compressed reality. The spear of humanity. The ship recoils with a violent shudder. All power dies for a second, plunging the bridge into darkness. Then the backup lights flicker on. The shot is away, silent and impossibly fast. It crosses the void toward the enemy command ship. You targeted their leader, a massive, sprawling vessel. The heart of their fleet's coordination. Your shot is invisible to the naked eye. It is a distortion in space, a flicker of impossibly focused energy. It travels between the enemy's own volleys, a ghost slipping through a storm. The seconds stretch into an eternity. The enemy fleet continues its assault. More black beams carve into our wounded hull. The ship's alarms are a constant, screaming symphony. You hold your breath, your eyes glued to the screen. Did it work? Did you hit? Or did you just sign our death warrant? The bridge is silent, everyone waiting. The enemy flagship shatters in a silent explosion. There is no fire, no sound in the vacuum of space. The ship simply comes apart. Its perfect angular form dissolves. It breaks into a million pieces of dark metal. The erasure weapon turns on its master. A wave of feedback energy vaporizes the surrounding ships. A hole is torn in the center of the enemy formation. A cheer erupts on the bridge, a raw, ragged sound of victory. People are laughing, crying. The tension breaks like a fever. For a moment, there is only joy. The impossible shot landed. You struck the head from the serpent, but your eyes are still on the view screen. The vast enemy fleet still remains. Thousands of them. Their attack falters. The coordinated waves of black energy stop. The remaining ships drift, seemingly confused. Their central command is gone. Their perfect rhythm is broken. But they are still there, a sea of weapons. They still outnumber us 1,000 to 1. The celebration on the bridge dies down. The reality of the situation settles back in. The battle is not over. A stare down across the stars begins. The enemy fleet stops its advance toward us. They hold their position, a silent, menacing wall. Our crippled warship holds the line against them. The Aegis is barely functional. Shields are gone. The hull is a patchwork of breaches. But we are still here, and we are not moving. The bridge is a place of quiet, focused activity. Damage control teams work frantically. They try to patch the ship's many wounds. Every second buys us another moment of life. The power is slowly being restored. But we are in no condition to fight. And the enemy knows it. They are watching us, waiting, assessing their options. You can almost feel their collective gaze. The cold, alien intelligence studying our ship. They saw what we could do with one shot. They saw us sacrifice our own vessel for a chance to strike back. They are learning about humanity, learning about our stubborn refusal to surrender, our willingness to break our own tools to win. It is a tactic they likely do not understand. The captain's voice is steady. "Hold your positions," she orders. "Do not show weakness." It is a battle of wills now, a cosmic bluff. We have a broken ship, and one last trick that they know about. They have a massive fleet, but they are cautious. The death of their flagship has given them pause. They are afraid of what else we might be hiding. They don't know we have nothing left. One by one, the enemy ships turn away. It starts with the vessels on the outer edges of their fleet. They pivot slowly, deliberately. Then they accelerate into the darkness, back toward the starless void from which they came. At first, it is just a few, then dozens, then hundreds. The great swarm is breaking apart. No one on the bridge speaks. You watch in stunned silence. The enemy is retreating. The vast fleet, the unstoppable force, is leaving. They are not surrendering. This is a withdrawal, a tactical decision. They have decided that the cost of destroying us is too high. Today, at least. They point their sharp, ugly ships homeward. They disappear back into the starless void. The hole in space remains, a silent black wound. But the ships that came from it are gone. The view screen slowly empties. The tide of death is receding. The space around the Aegis becomes empty once more, filled only with the ghosts of stars and the wreckage of the enemy flagship. The threat is over. The last enemy ship vanishes from the sensors. A collective sigh of relief sweeps through the bridge. It is a sound of pure, unadulterated survival. The long stare down is over. And we have won. We have held the line. The crippled, dying Aegis has stared into the abyss. And the abyss has blinked. You watch the last enemy vanish from sight. A profound sense of exhaustion washes over you. It is deeper than any physical tiredness. It is the exhaustion of a soul that has been to the edge and back. You lean back in your chair, the adrenaline finally fading. The pain in your shoulder returns, a dull, throbbing reminder of the battle. The Aegis has survived its darkest hour. The captain puts her hand on your shoulder again. This time, it is not for support, but for gratitude. "You did well," she says. Her voice is filled with a quiet pride. "You saved us all." You look around the bridge, at the faces of your crewmates, streaked with grime and tears. They are smiling. They are alive. And that is enough. The journey home will be long and slow. The Aegis is a wounded hero. It will bear the scars of this day forever. But it will fly again. And its story will be told. The tale of the lone warship that stood against a fleet of void reavers. The day humanity proved it would not be erased from the stars. A legend has been born in the starlight. And you are at the heart of that legend. The sensor operator who saw the flaw in perfection. The one who aimed the spear of humanity. You look out at the stars, the real ones. The ones that are still there, shining brightly. They seem more beautiful now, more precious. You have faced the darkness and chosen the light. The war is not over, but you have won the first battle, and you are ready for the next.